And so from a deep place of gratitude and appreciation, we beckon forth all entities to bring us forth a message. But in specific, we call upon Shaltazar, the Gavish Baninu, keeper of the secrets of the universe, to please grace us this evening with the message that is appropriate to us at this time. Yes, we are here. We are here with you now and forever. We have never left your side. We were with you when you were in the place of unity. We were with you in the cave of creation, when what was decided to be the current incarnation was discussed. And from the moment you came out of the womb, we were there. But at that instant, as is always the case, you forgot. You forgot who you truly were. For that is the design of Source in its wisdom, to create that forgetting. To create that forgetting so that there can be an opportunity in the human experience to find, if you possibly can, some remembering of who you truly are. And we are pleased, if us being pleased was something that was possible, to report to you that more and more and more of the humans on planet Earth have embarked on the journey of remembering. That was not always the case, although there have been civilizations past where the many were able to remember. But those civilizations are no more. Many of you were there. We're there together in the place called Lemuria, in the place called Atlantis. And in those places, the remembering was much more commonplace. And so, planet Earth has once again entered into the possibility of a more enlightened era, a time where more of you can remember and connect with your power, with your gifts. The potential for this to happen is not by happenstance, it is by design. For the great Creator has notched up, so to speak, the vibration of your planet. It is with this increased vibratory energy that allows more and more of you to see behind the veil, to connect to us. And as more and more of you choose, and of course choose is the operative word because you live on the planet of free choice, and the choice to connect, the choice to raise your vibration to a higher level is yours and only yours. And if you choose to raise your vibration, then so be it. And if you choose not to raise your vibration, then so be it. Or let us remind you that the Source, the All, the great Creator, loves you no matter what you choose. The essence of unconditional love. And we know you banter that term around a lot on earth. And we admire you, if such a thing was possible, for doing so. And don't get us wrong, you can come closer, a lot closer than you currently are to unconditional love. But to find the unconditional love that exists in the spirit world is beyond your reach at this time. For you live in a denser environment where the ability to increase vibration to unconditional love is not available to you. Having said that, we would encourage, and again, encourage is not really a concept that is within our grasp. That is simply a word that the translator is using to express what we are sending. And so, if you choose to continue to raise your vibration, you have the opportunity to come closer and even to reach the tipping point. The tipping point is when not only a few or even the many reach a higher vibration, but when the collective consciousness attains that vibration and allows your whole world to change as you know it. At this time, we do not wish to explain what possibilities there are when or if this tipping point is reached, when the collective consciousness reaches a vibration that has rarely or never been seen on planet Earth. Instead, what we wish to talk to you about this evening is what you can do, what each and every one of you can do to help move the collective consciousness to the vibrational level where big change will occur. You will have noticed that we have spoken a lot so far this evening about vibration, about vibratory energy. As many of you know, everything is vibration. This is a principle that has been present on your planet for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The ancient masters knew well of the principle of vibration. Hermes Trismegistus, one of your great masters, brought forth a philosophy that has been translated into the Kabbalion that speaks extensively of the principle of vibration. But let it be enough for this evening for us to remind you that every living thing vibrates. Every piece of life on your planet vibrates. And so if you wish collectively to bring the vibration of your planet to a higher level, then may we suggest you begin with you. And so the question we would suggest you ask yourself over and over and over again is, what can I do to raise my personal vibration? And to reiterate, we shall remind you that every part of you, every cell in your body, everything around you vibrates. And may we also suggest that the vibration that emanates from you affects those around you and your entire environment. It is not a coincidence that you are facing very different weather patterns, that you are facing volatile political situations, that you are seeing hate, that you are seeing natural disasters. These are being perpetrated by the vibration of your planet. And may we remind you that we have told you before that the darkness that is coming forth is not a foreshadowing of the demise of your planet. Quite the contrary. As the light continues to pour in with greater intensity, the darkness is pushed to the top. And so we encourage you not to be concerned to a great degree about the darkness you see around you. It is just a sign of how much light is pouring in. And we probably do not need to remind you that light vibrates so much higher than darkness. Love vibrates so much higher than hate. Compassion vibrates so much higher. And so as you continue to ask yourself the question, what is it that I can do to raise my vibration so that I can influence those around me and the environment? And when we speak of the environment, we speak of everything that is on your planet, not just Mother Earth. We speak of everything that is around you. Have you ever noticed when you're grumpy, when you're in a bad mood, when you're frustrated, when you are in despair, that those feelings have an effect on your friends, relatives, and coworkers? Have you ever noticed that when you laugh, when you smile, when you feel joyous, that to a certain degree, those feelings are infectious and they vibrate outwards to those around you? So if you will agree with us that what you project in vibration has a great impact on those around you. And when we say those around you, we include the trees and the flowers and the plants and the animals. We include everything that is living on your planet. For life itself vibrates high. And so let us go back to the example of the days that you feel depressed, frustrated. What is it that you can do to raise your vibration, to move out of those feelings? As we have said, every cell in your body vibrates. Every thought that you think vibrates. Every feeling that you have vibrates. Every word that you speak vibrates. Every action that you take vibrates. Every deed that you do vibrates. And as we mentioned, you live on the planet of free choice. So there is some logical reasoning that says, if you are free to choose, then if we follow that logic, you are free to choose how you vibrate. Now we realize that that is a difficult concept for you to fathom, because there is no barometer, there is no thermometer, there is no scientific instrument that can measure your vibration. No, you must measure your own vibratory states. And so we encourage you this evening to begin to practice getting to know thyself better, getting to know thy vibration, getting to know when your vibration is high, and getting to know when your vibration is low. Now, please do not misunderstand this message as saying that we expect you never to be at a place of low vibration, for that is impossible. That is impossible because you live in the place of polarity. You live in the duality. In the place of spirit, in the place of unity, where we come from, all vibrates high because we come from the unity. But you do not live in that unity at this time. There is a part of you that comes from that unity, but is here in the place of duality. So yes, you will vibrate lower on certain days, and you will vibrate higher on other days. But even when you are vibrating lower, you have choices that you can make that can lift your vibration. And even if you have not mastered that art, then we invite you to consider the possibility of not influencing as many around you when you are vibrating low. Pull back, retreat. Be careful with the words you choose when you are vibrating low. You can make your lower vibrational days a personal experience, and you don't necessarily have to share them with those around you. We are familiar with a saying on your planet that misery likes company. But by practicing that adage, all you are doing is bringing others to the lower vibration that you are at. And we remind you that does not have to be the case. We invite you in the coming days and weeks and months to become more observant of your words. And may we suggest that the words that you are hearing now are not ours. They are the words of the translator. We invite you to hear the spirit, the feeling, the essence of those words, for that is our true message. And if you did, you would feel the high vibration that we are sending you. So again, we repeat, be more aware of the words you speak to others. Be more aware of the words you speak to yourself. Be more aware of the thoughts that come up in your mind. and do the best you can to keep those thoughts and to keep those words as high vibrating as possible. There is a simple trick for knowing how high a vibration your words are, how high the vibration your thoughts are. And since, as we have said, there is no scientific instrument to measure your vibration, this trick is a good workaround. And what we speak of is that the better your words feel to you, the higher they vibrate. The better the thoughts you have, the higher they vibrate. The better the deeds you are doing feel to you, the higher they vibrate. The better the action that you are doing feels, the higher the vibration. So please indulge us in an experiment. Observe the results of what happens when what you do, what you say, what you think, what you feel, feels better to you. Notice the effect it has on life around you. And to drive our point home, you may choose, although it is difficult to do so, become aware of the low vibrating words that you find coming out of your mouth often. Observe the effect they have on your loved ones, your friends, your coworkers. Become more aware of the vibrating human beings that you are. Do the best you can to move to the highest vibration you can, always. And if you could imagine for a moment, if you did what we are suggesting, and your loved ones did what we are suggesting, and your friends did what we are suggesting, and your neighbors did what we are suggesting, and the citizens of your country did what we are suggesting, and the citizens of the world did what we are suggesting, it is not difficult to imagine major changes that could occur on your planet. The ever elusive peace now becomes a possibility. Judgment disappears. Compassion, caring, kindness increases. The collective consciousness reaches the tipping point, and the possibilities for a new earth are infinite. So let us, before we end, bring it back to you. And that simple question that we invite you to ask yourself on a regular basis: am I doing everything I can to vibrate as high as possible? What can I do differently to raise my vibration and thus the vibration of life around me? And we shall close by thanking you for what you have done thus far. For as the great Creator increased the potential for vibration on planet Earth, it was not a given that people would step up to the plate, so to speak, and take advantage of that opportunity. It was not a given that people would gather in gatherings like this to hear messages from the divine. It is not a given that new modalities would sprout forth. No, it is not a given that just because the vibration of your planet was increased, that the citizens of Earth would increase their personal vibration. We hope you are grateful that you are alive in this monumental time in human history. And we hope you are thankful that if you are one of the ones taking advantage of connecting to the divine power, to your gifts, to the high vibration, that you have a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the choices that you have made. And we remind you that whether the collective consciousness reaches the vibration required to bring forth a new world order or not, you are all loved. You are all cherished by the Source itself. Feel that love, become that love, and share that love. We are with you forever. Our love for you is unconditional and will always be.